So hello there everyone. Welcome back to another video stream, however you want to put it. Hi to Johnny and Bobby and RJ. Thank you RJ for the kind words and everybody else in between, Sean, Teen Slayer, everybody else, AB James and so forth. Thank you. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Maybe we'll have a guest, maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, hope everyone's doing okay, everyone's doing well, and yeah, there you go. I might get up in about 15 minutes because I have some stuff over there. It'll take like 30 seconds, but in between, yeah, I hope everyone's doing okay. Josh, Alter Ego, Samuel, hello everybody. How is everyone doing okay on this Thursday that we have here in front of us? Johnny, it's worse than the third film, and the 2007 movie is easily better, and the third film is easily better. Thank you, Alter Ego. I hope people enjoyed the rant on Mutant Mayhem. I think it was richly deserved of a rant. But for those who haven't seen it, feel free to check it out. Sorry, Samuel, I don't know who that is. So, but happy birthday to them, I guess. I have no idea who that is. But do you like bats or rats? I don't know. I never had one as a pet, never cared to, so I wouldn't know either way. Favorite Ben Affleck movie? That's tough. I have to think about that. I like Daredevil. I like Paycheck. That's tough, favorite Ben Affleck movie. I'd have to think about that. Uh, Worse in different ways, Josh. Mr. D-Man, Broadstype, hello there. Luis and everybody, hello there. Well, again, hope everyone's doing okay on this Thursday. Neil Punk, hello there. Well, there's nothing to like about Mutant Mayhem. Nothing to like about the movie. Not a single thing. I'm not a Sacha Baron Cohen fan, so I don't really care what he does. Oh, okay, yeah, now I know who she is, Samuel. Okay. Indifferent. Ventures of Sonnet, didn't watch the show. To be honest, Mr. Demon, I haven't even seen the comments yet. I've been so busy. But whatever. I don't care. The movie still sucks ass. Hey, frame by frame, thank you, man. Yeah, still recovering. Still recovering. And yeah, so there you go. But thanks once again for the request, frame by frame. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I just say still recovering. I just say that. But again, thank you, frame by frame. I do appreciate it. Carter Detention, I mean, in different ways. Both of Frey's Tina Morinker films I have no emotional attachment to in terms of license of characters. So it's hard to pick between the two. Because one is a film that I don't give a shit about. The other side is characters I actually care about, and it's kind of hard to compare apples and oranges to me. That's how it is.
Apples and oranges, eh?
You heard that, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Been busy most of the week. The weekend was crazy with the convention and everything, but I'm hanging in. I'm doing good. How about you?
No, some people were asking, am I recovering? Yes, I'm pretty recovered from Mutant Mayhem bullshit. So I still think the film sucks ass, but that's just me.
So I take it you're not a part of the 96% voting on Rotten Tomatoes, huh?
I have no idea what the hell movie they saw. I guess they loved all the melting jokes and all the puking jokes and the turtles being the TikTok generation because that's how they sounded and that's how they acted, like TikTokers, just irritating, annoying douchebags that I wanted to die. I wanted those turtles to die.
Yeah, I didn't watch your rant video yet, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it. So is it everything that you hoped that it wouldn't be so far? That's what I'm getting from you.
Well, I mean, I have no idea what there is to like about it. Unlikable characters, terrible dialogue, the way they talk. Okay, they talk like teenagers, but annoying douchebag teenagers, like they're goofing on what Splinter's ass smells like, and that's great dialogue. There's barely any ninja. There's no reason for them to be ninjas because the whole origin is thrown out. There's no Japanese culture. They
Wow.
just watched kung fu movies and how to fight, like YouTube videos. So I have no idea why they're ninjas in the first place. And I doubt anyone who loves the film can explain why. And then people go, it's not a big deal. Well, it's the title of the movie.
Exactly.
And uh, I mean, I was so terrible like that. That's why I was looking down. I was like, I have to write, or otherwise I will I will leave and I will finish the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote like ADD, sugar Russian, annoying twa waffles who I wanted to be turtle soup. I want them to die. Puking, because April's puked O'Neill because she pukes a lot. And she got in front of a camera and she puked because she was nervous. Puking. There's 30 jokes about milking because Splinter says, be careful, the humans will milk you. And April says, well, you're not going to get milked because you don't even have nipples. And then they get caught and then we're getting milked. Leo loves April O'Neil, and April O'Neil here is a bitchy, apathetic, don't give a fuck about the world, frumpy, homeless, fat ass looking, ready for the View to work with Whoopi Goldberg or take over Whoopi Goldberg. That's what she fucking seems like, acts like. All the mutants they force in there for nothing. Bebop, Rocksteady, they're in there. They probably don't have more than 5 lines. They're part of one little car chase, and then they'll work with the Turtles by the end after a 30-second speech. There's barely any ninja action except for a montage or two, because the whole finale is them fighting Superfly, voiced by Ice Cube, who's as big as a fucking Godzilla. So there's not a lot of, quote, ninja action.
What the hell?
Mondo Gecko, voiced by Paul Rudd. Miles will be 5 steps away from Rain Man. Just that. Leatherhead, she's Australian and it's a girl, and that's all she does in the movie. Just the voices were awful. Jackie Chan's character Splinter goes out with a female mutant scumbag cockroach named Scumbag at the end, and they kiss, and they're going to go on dates. Frame by frame thinking, man. I have no idea what movie they saw. I don't know where the great humor is. I would love that person to explain where the great humor was. Feel free to explain to me. Inspired tapes, them being annoying, irritating teenager douchebags, to me is not inspired. They're not. I'm sorry. And people defend it going, well, teenagers are annoying. And I go, well, how is that an upgrade? How is that a positive thing? Need for acceptance. Yeah, the reason they fight is so that they can, if they capture the bad guys, the cops kneel in their imaginary portion, and they will be accepted and go to school. I thought they wanted to just help and protect people, but apparently it's just for a selfish endeavor. So, because they were inspired by watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off at a drive-in.
So wait, somebody said that teenagers are annoying.
That's what someone said, and they said that's what makes these characters work, because teenagers are annoying. So, of course, they're annoying.
But
So you have to accept it.
why the hell would you want your lead characters of your movie, the title characters, probably shouldn't be annoying? Like, what?
I
That
don't
doesn't even make
know.
sense. Like,
They don't
wow.
know. I dare anyone who loves the film to fucking explain it to me, and be my guest.
Mhm.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice you, man. Hey, what's up, man? I,
Hey,
I hope
what's
you're
up?
doing well.
Yeah.
I figure you're busy tonight after Cannibal Holocaust, so otherwise, I wish these four turtles got Cannibal Holocaust. I wish they got turned into fucking paste. I wish they got their shells, but they need a Cannibal Holocaust. I tell you, these four motherfuckers. I mean, everything from they fucking steal shit. Like the first bit is they stealing shit, and it's like even the second film they left fucking money for the pizza
Hmm.
for Tino. Here they're literally just stealing shit. I just everything about it's like, what makes them ninjas? Nothing. Baxter Stoneman had this ooze because he wanted a family. He was a lonely fuck. You needed a family, Mark. You needed a family. So you
So,
wanted to make a family.
so you're telling me there's no action set pieces whatsoever? Like, not one. There has to be one.
Well, that's not fair. There's a chop shop that they fight, and it's their first fight, so most of it they're screwing up, and that's where you get a 10-second homage to Ninja Rap. Just Mikey falls through a car, and it plays on the radio for 10 seconds. There's a car chase. Before that, there's a montage where it's like they go to 5 places, but it's done at the same time. So if they're
Mhm.
doing one movement, thank you, we're going to appreciate that, man. They're doing one movement, but the background keeps changing because they're doing the same movements, but it's 5. So there's that montage. That's the second one. Car chase is the third one. And then them fighting Godzilla, Ice Cube, Superfly is the fourth one. There's
Mm.
your 4 set pieces of action.
Yeah. I'm not usually one to like judge, but this sounds like the worst entry ever. Like, now you're a lot
I,
more well versed and seen them a lot more than I have. Like, would you say that this is the worst out of all
it's
of them?
close.
Okay.
It's close between this and the one Michael Bay produced. It's close.
The
Because,
2014 one, was that it?
yeah, in
Okay.
2016 sequel.
Yeah.
Uh, this is close. This might be. And it's, oh, thank you, Davey Vids. Yeah, I enjoyed that game. No, I've never played that game, Nightfire. And thank you, Ascent Reviews. Yeah. I just I just explain stuff to people, and then I go, okay, what is it that you liked about it? We have to drop like the dialogue. Let's stop a minute to talk about Mark Ruffalo, and he was an Endgame. I don't give a fuck about Mark Ruffalo's piece of shit person who defended pedos, folks. So I don't give a fuck about Mark Ruffalo. Fucking idiot.
I have no idea about that. I'm not sure I want to know now.
There's Kyle, the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. One of the people he defended against
Okay.
was a guy named Jonathan, and Mark Ruffalo said, "This guy's a racist. Rest in peace, this guy." And people go, "This guy he shot was a convicted offender that was in jail for 10 years and was with underage people, and you're mourning and saying rest in peace to this person." And then Mark Ruffalo, didn't want to admit he fucked up, so he
Gotcha.
just
Okay.
went along with it still. Because, stars do something called research. And this guy you're defending him, did stuff with underage people, but hey, that's who we should defend. That's Hollywood for you. I just The goddamn ending is them going to prom because they're accepted in school and they go to prom. And Splinter's with a female mutant cockroach named Scumbag, and they're fucking going out dating and they're kissing. They're probably off screen, they're fucking.
I'm trying
And
so hard not to laugh. This sounds like pure shit.
Leto is Gaga over April, who again looks like a homeless fat ass. She looks like Whoopi Goldberg in The View, which I used to like Whoopi Goldberg, but she's out of the fucking. I'm sorry, she used to be worth a shit. Now she's just shit, in my opinion. And I used to like Whoopi Goldberg. Jumpin' Jack Flash days of Whoopi Goldberg, I like. Sister Act Ghost days. The View days, fuck The View.
Burglar Day.
All of them are dumbasses. Yeah, I know. They go to school. They're yes, Uncle Bill. April near here looks like a homeless fat ass, like Whoopi Goldberg. She does, and she's just apathetic on her phone. She writes on her diary thing to ask questions because she wants to be a journalist. I read what she wrote. One of the things she wrote was, "Did you create COVID?" And
oh my God.
did you get COVID? That was in the fucking thing. It was in the fucking thing. I'm not making the shit up, folks. But people like a lot of bullshit. I don't give a fuck if everyone in the fucking world likes something. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I said my piece in that over hour-long video, and I meant every word I said it. And people want to defend it, be my guest. You can like whatever movie you want. April's an ugly ass. I'm like, Leo, you could do better, you simp. You could do better than this. If it was Zoe Saldana or Halle Berry, I could see it. This, fuck no. And I think the animation looked ugly. I'm sorry. I like Spider-Verse, that movie, the first one. I didn't see the sequel. This just looked like an uglier version of that, in my opinion.
Damn.
At least to me. I'm sorry, Donatello sounds like he's 5 years old. He sounds like he's going to be in the reboot of Rugrats. He sounds like he needed a diaper. I thought it was a girl at first. And on the flip side, Mikey sounds like he's 40. Sounds like a future stoner fuckwit named Seth Rogen. Raphael sounds like Nelson from The Simpsons. Ready to go ha-ha. Pick on Milhouse and Bart. I'm sorry, I know I'm just redoing my... Splinter, he looks like someone put a mousetrap on his fucking head. And ooh, Jackie Chan. I don't give a shit about Jackie Chan. I like him as an actor. I don't like him as a person. This is a guy that threw his 2-year-old kid because he was pissed into a fucking sofa. He said in his autobiography because he was pissed. So he took his 2-year-old kid and threw him into the sofa. This guy who's cheated on his wives and has illegitimate kids who he doesn't say shit to either because they're gay or what. So I like Jackie Chan as a performer. I do not like him as a person. If you think I'm lying, folks, he said this in his autobiography. He even admits that he was a nasty asshole when he got famous. His words. I'm sorry. I mean, you don't throw 2-year-old kids like basketballs. Maybe I'll respect you more as a person.
That's really fucked up. I'd never heard that before. Wow.
Yeah, this is his autobiography because I like him as a performer, but anyway, I don't give a shit as Jackie Chan out of this stuff. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to like him. I mean, I know if that's the case, I'd have to hate every single person in Hollywood, but again, don't throw your 2-year-old kids. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Thank
like...
you. Yeah, go ahead.
That's like almost like sociopathic shit. Like, I mean, there's a difference between like being shitty on set and being a diva on set and something like that. But to throw a child, like, you're beyond crossing the line at that point. I'm surprised he actually put that in the book. That's crazy, man.
Because he thinks nothing of it, because he's in China and he supports the communism against Hong Kong and all that stuff. And tells about how bad America is, but he still makes movies here. America's the worst country. It's like, then don't make movies here.
Right.
Hey, I'll put that up because good job, Mark. Congrats on helping him.
Oh,
very
no
cool.
problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm just glad you finally got it, man. Like you've been needing that probably for the last like 5 years or so.
But yeah, when it comes in, we gotta do some new shows. I'm up for Uncle Bill. Uh,
Yeah.
Again, I didn't invite you on here because I figured you were busy and all that stuff because you just did Cannibal Holocaust, and I think you got another show coming up. I forget what it was. There's another one coming up. I know. I think so.
No, if
It's
he's in the chat, he's not busy. You send him a link. Get your ass on here.
I don't want to bother him.
I'll bother him.
Yes, you were. Yeah, you said you sent a super chat. Yes, they watch movies, including a brief bit. You see a Jackie Chan film, kung fu movies, and then like instructional. They look like YouTube videos, instructional videos by some guy who's never held a sword before, doing a sword. That's it. So that's it. They're not ninjas. There's no backstory. There's no Hamato Yoshi. There's no Japanese culture. And apparently that's cool with people. Okay. I mean, that's why they're ninjas in the first place, but what the fuck do I know? People want to know an assholes.
Apparently nothing. Like you seem to be in the minority because I saw so much praise, but then as soon as I saw like the thumbnail that you put up, I'm like, okay, I guess it was all bullshit. I should have known better. I don't know what it is with like this day and age, everybody loving everything. No, I mean, you're right. Like everybody loves everything nowadays. I really don't get that. Like I can see obviously if something's good, praise it, but like most things aren't good these days. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I don't get it with a lot of this stuff. I don't get it. I do not understand it. I don't. That's why I don't give a shit about seeing Barbie. I mean, if it's a request, fine, but that's the only right way. And Barbie made $1 billion, and this, this does. I mean, I talked about it. This film, in the 1990, gets a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, but this has a 95%. And again, 85 jokes on milking, and Seth Rogen's fucking dumbass, and Jesus Christ, man, don't get it. I guess it's not my job to get it.
Yeah, it's not for us. I mean, it's for, like you said, the TikTok generation. That probably sums it up pretty well.
That's how they talk. Like a line of dialogue. For Stuntman, for you. Leo says we should go home. Raph says, how does it feel having your head up Splinter's butt? Mikey says, hey, what does it smell like up there? And Donnie says, I bet it smells like Doritos and cheese. That's a dialogue verbatim. 95%. Hell, Prey, that piece of shit Predator film got an Emmy nomination for Best Movie. TV movie. Which I didn't know it was a fucking TV movie, but apparently with Hulu it is. Best writing. Someone puts a fucking flower in their mouth and the body temperature goes to be invisible and there's no side effects. But hey, Emmy Award worthy nomination. Best writing. Best movie.
God damn.
A girl that weighs 50 pounds doing parkour shit on the trees on a predator, able to overcome a predator's arm and all this shit. Where Arnold and Danny Glover had a tough time, but if you weigh 50 pounds and you're a Native American from whatever year, I didn't know Native Americans back then they knew parkour. I didn't know that's where parkour came from.
That's the origin. So. That's what it is.
The origin parkour shit.
And there's like, I don't even know how that could be nominated. There's like maybe 20 lines of dialogue in that movie. Like you're nominating a script with a bunch of action scenes and nothing but characters moving around. There's no dialogue in that movie.
But except what was the line? I'm like a beaver or something. I fight like a beaver. What the fuck? There was some line with a beaver.
I don't even
I'm strong
remember.
as a beaver. I fight like a beaver. Yeah, Chaz, I'm serious. Look it up. Oh, sorry, I live again one. No, Mark has not seen it. I've just been describing it to him, and he'll see it tomorrow. 2007 is better in every single way, even though Leo's a dickhead in that movie. I like the animation better. I like the tone better. I like the other characters' voices better. And it doesn't have 30 jokes about milking. It doesn't have them wondering what their parents' ass smells like. It doesn't throw in all these mutants just for name value. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers in the toy, that Ray Fillet toy, for those who remember, he's in there as played by Post Malone. He sings 3 times, told to shut up. That's all he's in there for. Like, these are the jokes. This is the humor. This is what they're there for. Fucking bullshit. So, yes, I think I have issues with the 2007 film, but that's better in every single way compared to this. Every single way. Because they actually respected what Ninja Turtles were to a point. This, again, by the end, they go to fucking prom. Why the fuck do they need to do a goddamn thing ever again? They got what they wanted. Like, they're going to prom. They don't get chicks and shit. Why would Raph be angry? Why does Donnie need to be a medic? They just go to a doctor or go to fucking Home Depot to build shit. He doesn't need to build a fucking thing. Like, thank you, Psycho Hobo. Yes, that's a much better movie. Martin Scorsese knows what he's doing. I like that movie. Willem Dafoe, Harvey Keitel.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Psycho Hobo. I appreciate that, man. But I'm sorry, I'm talking like a mile a minute.
No, it's. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I think that someone was asking. Yeah, the 2007 movie is miles better in every way, because the Turtles were not annoying idiots that wanted to die. These were annoying teenagers that wanted to turn to turtle soup. They talked like they talked to each other, and I didn't know what this reference is because I'm an old fuck. But the reference of bacon, egg, and cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese, and they're dancing, and Mike D turns around and torques his ass to the camera, and that's them ad-libbing because the teens ad-libbed for a good chunk of the movie. And as I said before, then they should get fired, go back to fucking Taco Bell or where the fuck else they worked at. Fuck Taco Bell, by the way. Mickey D's for me. Give me McDonald's or give me death. I'll fuck Taco Bell, except in Demolition Man. But they fucking sucked at their job at ad-libbing.
I never thought I'd hear that a turtle did that in a movie. A Ninja Turtle. That's the most ridiculous. Twerking is like, what? Are you serious? That happened? I can't believe that.
Yeah. It's on YouTube. Type it in.
I'm gonna watch it when we're done with this. I gotta see that. That is wow. That's mind blowing. Well, I mean, I guess that's accepted now. I mean, like, you had that with the She-Hulk thing, so I mean, Jesus Christ.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Actually, before I answer, I think the movie's less cheesy. I am Crocodile. I've never seen you on here, so be my guest. Teach their own. We agree, disagree. I have no idea what you mean. You know what happened in the 1990 movie? A turtle got put into a coma and then went to a farm to recuperate. And you have a scene where they're together and Splinter is telling them I love you and they tear up. In this movie, literally, Mikey is twerking, April is puking, and Splinter is a bigot who hates humans, who in a flashback wears an afro, and he is going out with a mutant cockroach at the end on dates.
I think he's trolling, even though he gave you that $5. He's trolling, man. There's no way.
I love this type of trolling. Please do more. I accept it. If that's the case, if you're serious, teach their own. If you're not, please give me more. I'll take it. That's the best kind of trolling. Oh, you're from Australia? Well, you'll like this because Rose Byrne is an Australian leatherhead. She that is there just to be Australian, say good day, mate, and be a female. That's really all she does in the movie. So be my guest. If you had to choose, I don't know. That's like choosing, do I want to get shot or stabbed? I'm still dead either way. I can't choose. I'm sorry. It's like a 1A, 1B thing. I hate everything. Don't have to make me choose, aren't you? God damn it.
Yeah, you got to choose.
I think for me, Mutant Mayhem is worse because of just how annoying these fucking characters were as the Turtles. And because of the ultimate praise, it kind of makes me more mad that it's overrated. And that kind of mixes into the hatred as well. As dumb as that may sound, um, at least people know that the 2014 film is, for the most part, bad. This, I have zero idea what people love about it. Zero.
Would you
Zero,
say,
zero, zero.
what do you think like is the issue with this? It's such a simple thing to pull off. I mean, if you look at the 1990 movie, there's a lot of simplicity, and I talk about that a lot. Like, it seems like you should be able to do that now. I mean, it's got everything in it. It hits all the right beats and moments for me. I'm a big fan of the first movie. The sequels, yeah, I'm iffy on certain things and certain ones, but overall, I think it's a fun trilogy. I have fun with it. The first film is the best. That being
Mhm.
said, why is it so hard for them to make that again? Like, not make the same movie over, but like something in that vein, like the quality of that. Like, I mean, it's Ninja Turtles. Are they overdoing everything? Do you think they're missing the point? Like, is it a
Well,
combination of
first,
both?
the first thing is, what do you want out of these characters? There's people that want different things. There's people that want them strictly kid material. There's some that want them a mix, like the 1990 movie, where there is seriousness in it.
Mhm.
People don't want to take it seriously because they think it's such a goofy, silly idea that there's no way you could do it. So thus they dumb it down to kid, silly, goofy stuff. And
Mhm.
also, Seth Rogen is a guy that he doesn't know shit about this. They gave him a phone call. He came in and said, "Okay, what do we do? Teenagers, teenagers. They make it their own because they think they're geniuses. You call me in. We're going to revamp. We're going to reinvigorate." Uh, Even in the movie, there's times where they kind of make fun of the turtles themselves, as in, it's like a bunch of this little stuff. Like when Splinter is explaining the origin, and it's like, "Oh yeah, we got oozed." I know it's weird that I was an old rat, so I became an old person, and you guys are baby turtles. You then were kids, but hey, that's just how it goes. Like this kind of like they know the source material is dumb in their eyes. I mean, I think they just look at it as goofball bullshit. I just no one. If you say treat it with respect, they laugh in your face. It's
Mhm.
just modern. We gotta modernize it. Well, modern sucks. A lot of modern things suck. Modern music, modern movies, modern politics, a lot of it sucks. So maybe that doesn't help either. It reflects the shitty times we're in. I
Mhm.
can't give you an easy answer. Is they don't know what they want to do. They don't care about the source material. They don't care about development of characters. It's be silly, be goofy. It's just for kids. What do you expect? Why you take it so seriously? Chill out. Just have fun. And I think it was just absolute dog shit. That's just me. I mean, I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like it. That's the way most stuff is now. I mean, of course, you and I both know there's exceptions, but they're so few and far between that like this has become the new style of movies now. It's so bad and sad all at the same time. Um, I would think that if they just gave the opportunity a chance to, if they take it serious, like how you said, because that's kind of what they did with the 1990 movie, right? Like it seemed like a very serious approach. Of course, you have your laughs and stuff, but there was
Mhm.
no specific target audience. Like it didn't seem like it was made for kids. It didn't seem like it was made for adults. It's just like, what's the best route we can take with the material? Let's take it serious enough so that like we can have a solid film here. And from what you're describing, it's like the exact opposite of what they did with this new one. It's like
Yeah.
let's target it to kids. Let's make it more tongue in cheek. Let's turn the tongue in cheek up to 11. Let's just do the most cheesiest shit ever, and it's probably going to work because there's the built-in fan base. It can be appealing to kids. We can make a lot of toys out of whatever, but just some of the more modernized things like the whole twerking bit, like that's beyond asinine. Like for anybody to sit there and read that in a screenplay and think that that's like entertainment or something that people would want to see. You know what I mean? What's up?
But we're alone because most people love it. The general consensus. So I guess they're the ones that
Yes,
know better than me.
I guess they do. Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think I want to watch it now. I'm gonna have to skip it. I was considering it.
I would say look at clips online.
Okay.
It's on YouTube all over. You type in "be mayhem puking" or milking or twerking, you'll find stuff in there.
Mhm.
And but you've seen stuff that's got a lot of praise and you weren't a fan of. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Well, actually, real quick, like actually, I'll be right back. I gotta do something real quick. But if you want to answer this, uh, I think he means Oprah, not opera. I think like Oprah got pissy about stuff, and I think he meant Oprah. But yeah, feel free to answer anything about Sound of Freedom. I'll be right back.
Great movie, but I know I've seen snippets of like the Mel Gibson thing, so I don't really know enough about that like to give you a legitimate answer. I'm sure Matt appreciates the $10 though. Thanks for the super chat.
So, how did you think of the movie? Like, what did you like about it and stuff?
Um, I like their approach with it. Something like that. I mean, you kind of have to take serious, but I could see how it might rub some people the wrong way. I know a lot of people were having issues with it. Again, the subject matter is not for everybody, but yeah, that's one of the better approaches that I've seen to something like that. It was really interesting, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it in the chat.
All right. Yeah, I heard about the Mel Gibson Oprah thing. Just I don't know. Oprah is a two-faced snake. She will be your friend one minute and then turn on you the next. She's done that to a lot of people. She did that to Jackson. She did a lot of other people where she's friendly, but then if it's opportunistic, she'll turn on people. So that's
Yeah.
one of the main reasons why I never liked Oprah.
Well, I have no ill will, but it's funny. My mother actually met Oprah before. She's not a
Okay.
fan at all.
Really?
Yeah. She says she was a real bitch. Like she was very like uppity and like I'm Oprah, basically, type of thing.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
I can't judge one way or the other, but that's just what I was told.
Yeah, I'm sorry your mom went through that. And your mom should have picked up Oprah and just body slam. I know she can't do it, but that'd be funny. That'd be a good story.
Yeah, it
Well,
would have been
Oprah's the same person. Holy shit. Thanks,
whoa,
Atruma 80s. Holy shit.
nice.
I'm here to support and also appreciate you being humble. Akuma, do you have a question? Let me at least answer one question for you, man. I think that's the very, 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 very least I could do, man.
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
a
man.
hell of a thing. I'll leave that for a bit just to say thank you, Akuma 80s. Uh, I mean, I'm not much of a reviewer, but I'm be a mod. Sure, I could do that. I have to do it on the computer because it won't do it on my phone. Yeah, it's come on, computer. Add as moderator.
That's really nice of you, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. That's really kind of you. And I'm using Mark for all his worth just to just make money again, goddammit. So that should be it should have worked. I mean, this YouTube fucked up. It should be a moderator. In fact, I put the higher moderator, the managing moderator, because I think it's worth that at least.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, man. Try to get cooler words. Just see the blue. Thank you. Hey, Speedster Zone. I haven't seen you on here before. Maybe I have, but I'm just thinking of the Flash, and I just having bad memories of fucking him putting babies in microwaves, which people defend that, and I'm like, I don't get it either. But
Well, he's saving babies, Matt. What more do you want? Come on.
by putting them in microwaves,
Yeah.
just don't do this stupid and shitty. How about? It looks so awful too, man.
It does. It looks really bad.
Like, fuck. Hey, no problem, man. Oh, you got a lot of bad news going. I'm sorry you're going through that, man. Hey, nothing. Hey, life is going to get you. Is life is going to be tough. The best thing you can do is keep moving forward, and it depends on what's going on. If it's internet stuff, shut your computer off because the internet's not real. It's not a real place, as in Facebook, Twitter, whatever the case, they're not real. You shut it off and you have your own real world that you can do whatever you want. And also, as much as busy stuff happens, take time, do something you enjoy. Watch a movie, read a book, play a video game, anything that makes you happy because life is short. And if you never do anything fun during your life, then what the fuck is the point? Just always take some time. Obviously, you can't take too much time. Nobody can. But you always got to take some time for yourself and do something that makes you smile and make you enjoy. So thank you, Rapid Kirby. And I hope things get better for you, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. You never know what happens tomorrow. Could be the thing that you're waiting on. Could be that break you're waiting for,
It's almost super fun.
Super.
The
Yeah,
Ice Cube
he told
villain,
me.
which I find like people say is such a kids film. No, a lot of kids films are meant for all ages. That's why this film, he literally references an Ice-T song. 6 a.m, cops at my door. That's an Ice-T song. How many? Not little kids that don't know Ice-T.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to know who the hell Ferris Bueller is.
Especially Ferris Bueller, yeah.
Yeah. Instead, the Turtles reference stuff like Wendy Williams or whoever the hell that talk show is. And was that the talk show Wendy Williams?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because Mikey wants to be on there or something, and Mark Ruffalo they mentioned and stuff. So a lot of references. And no,
So
I've not seen Barbie or Oppenheimer since.
anything?
Okay, Akuma 80. Yeah, sorry,
Go.
go ahead.
I was gonna say anything
Akuma
else
80s.
that's
Akuma 80s, real quick, like to answer since you were really generous. I have not checked out the Equalizer 3 trailer, so I haven't checked that out. I wasn't really big on the first two, but I have not seen it yet. Maybe I will sometime. But sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
anything else that you've seen recently that is good that's new or you enjoyed?
Good, good. That's new.
Mm-hmm.
New good.
I gotta like screen cap your face.
Well, like I don't know what. I don't know what are the. I don't know. I mean, I liked Distraction 2. I liked Renfield. I didn't mind Missing, Sick, um, Creed 3. But I've already said that before, but
Yeah.
nothing new, no. I mean, those are new, but
Mm-hmm.
really the newest film I've seen is that piece of shit Kung Fu Turtles movie, because they're not ninjas in it. Uh, but sorry, a few people have questions for you, Mark, so let me get to them a bit.
Oh, okay.
Sam Crow's asking, what are your top 3 favorite TV shows?
Um. Well, the first one would obviously be X-Files. Um. God, I'm a big fan of TV shows. So it's really hard to say. X-Files is number one for sure. And I'd be the first to admit that there are better shows than that out there, but that's just my favorite personally. Um, number two, and this could change at any time. I'd probably say Breaking Bad, which has very, very heavy influences um, from X Files, at least in terms of like staff and crew and stuff like that. Writers went from X Files to Breaking Bad. Several actors, even the two leads. And then my third favorite TV show, mm, that's really hard. I was a really big fan of Entourage when that was on. But then I could say
Hmm.
Sopranos, The Wire, Shameless.
Yeah.
I was a big Shameless fan, especially when it first started. I thought William H. Macy gave some amazing performances, especially in that first season. Because I've seen that type of guy in Chicago on the South Side where the movies made, where the show's made, and I've seen that happen so many times. It was spot on. Like he did such an amazing job. And then like he slowly became my favorite in the show for a while because his performance was that good, especially in the early seasons. I think the show kind of lost its way a little bit as it went. I mean, the damn show went for 11 seasons, which I think was the same number of seasons as like the British version. And I know
Hmm.
like a lot of the first season was like done episode for episode, just remade here in the US, obviously different cast and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I could name a million of them. So, but those are pretty much some of my favorites just off the top of my head.
So Jamrol's asking, have you seen Talk to Me by A24?
I have seen Talk to Me, yes.
So, talk to me. How is this?
So you've seen the trailer for it, right?
No. You know me in A24. I avoid this shit. Like
I
the
know that's why
plague.
I had to ask. I was just gonna dive right into it, but I will say, like, it's not like all the other A24 horror movies. I think it's just by chance that they picked the film up, because I
Hmm.
think there was a brief bidding war for it. Um, Let me think. I think those two guys, if I'm not mistaken, like they've done some other stuff in the past, but not like actual feature length like films. So for a first
Hmm.
movie, I thought it was fine. It
Cool.
kind of felt a little bit more Blumhouse than A24. But anyway, so the
Was it better
premise
than
is
Was it better than The Blackening, which I thought was a black happening, but it
oh my
wasn't.
god. Yes, much better. Dude, that movie well, I've told you all about that, so I won't get into that. I want to get
Yeah.
sidetracked. So the premise is with Talk to Me, you grab the hand, which is a severed, embalmed hand that's been like encased in, I think, like porcelain or something like that. Now it's apparently either the hand of a deceased psychic medium that could communicate with the dead, or it's a hand of a Satanist. So whichever one of those stories or narratives you want to believe, that's what you go with. So you grab the hand, you say, "Talk to me." They light the candle to open the door. And once you do that, you say, "Talk to me." You see a spirit of some sort. And the second half of it is like, you say, I think it's, "I let you in."
So wait, they hold the hand?
Yes, they hold the hand.
They'll hold it like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like the Predator. You son of a bitch.
Oh god. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
They,
Well, not
they push it
exactly.
too
I
many
mean,
pencils.
but sort of. Anyway,
Push it too many pencils.
yeah, so the first part of it is you say, "Talk to me." Now at that point, like, you can see a spirit, you can talk to a spirit.
Talk to me.
But the second half,
Talk.
I guess, is where the horror really comes in specifically, because when you say, "I let you in," the spirit that you see possesses you. So that's kind of like the hook of the movie. Is, I mean, most horror movies, I mean, people don't want to get possessed. They want to get an exorcism or some shit like that. So in
Yeah.
this, like, they have a thrill and a rush off of becoming possessed. They're willingly possessing themselves, basically. And it's
Now
kind of, go
I'm
ahead.
assuming these are characters you're supposed to hate, right?
Well, it's okay, Matt, because they're all teenagers, and teenagers are annoying and stupid. Remember, so um, it's got a touch of like It Follows in there, and like maybe Flatliners, because like they sort of become obsessed with the rush of playing with death in Flatliners, and it's sort of the same thing here, but it takes it a step further with Possession. And then there's spirit attachment, which happens in the movie, and that's sort of like It Follows, sort of, where there's like a spirit. I don't know if you've seen either one of those movies.
Yeah, It Follows was okay.
Hmm.
My issue with It Follows is the creature is a dumb fuck because it's supposed to mimic things, but it's the most obvious thing that everyone would know. It's bad at its job. So okay, if I can mimic anything, I'm in a hallway. Let me mimic to be an 8 foot tall basketball player looking motherfucker. Let me be a naked person on a fucking house. Let me be wearing a hospital gown when nobody else is. Like if he was a spy, he would get shot in 5 seconds. Triple X Vin Diesel is a better spy than this motherfucker. That was my only issue. Is like I think it would have been better if you really couldn't tell who it was, but it was so damn obvious. It's like when you're playing a video game and you push the button, there's the cursor on them, so you know who the bad guy is. That's just seemed like to me. So it does. That's green screen better than Hollywood. I'm telling you,
That's
better
right.
than Hollywood green screen. Better than the Flash special effects. Don't believe me? Take a look.
Matt says that Talk to Me was his favorite.
That's cool.
So that's interesting.
Get the fuck out. No, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, man. It's fine. You know me, I hate everything, so don't listen to what I say. Listen to what Mark says. He's the more sensible one. I'm the more hot-headed one.
You might like it. I don't know. Like, it's a 50-50 chance on this one. Like some stuff I can tell for sure you're just gonna hate, but you might like this one. I don't know. I mean, I have issues with it. I know a lot of people are putting it over and really, really digging it. I think it's got some really interesting moments. I just have some problems with it. It's
Like
not
the
a.
Exorcist Believer, people putting over that trailer. To this,
That's a whole different thing.
Even today, I got someone pissed. Like, I don't know what this channel is, but I'm glad I see who you are, and now you're blocked because I didn't like the Exorcist Believer, and I didn't bother because I figured he had to be blocked anyway. But I was just going to ask, what did you like about the trailer? But what do people like about that trailer?
I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know. There's not one thing in it that's original. I mean, other than if you want to say two people being possessed at once, but it's like, is that really enough for you to like go to a movie theater, put down your money, and then sit for 2.5 hours probably on that kind of a movie? I don't know.
Two girls,
Definitely
one
not
cup.
enough for
I'm
me.
telling you.
Two girls, one demon. Yeah.
You're puking. Instead of shitting, it's puking. Horror fans just need something to look forward to because they're squat. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I mean, if people do, be my guest, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to lie. And same with the Saw 10.
Mm.
Well, of course it looks like the other Saw movies. That's what it's supposed to look like. When it got to Friday the 13th Part 10, it was a little bit different at least.
Yeah.
It went in space at least.
Exactly. They tried to do
And I
something
like
different, even if it wasn't good. They were attempting to make changes. Even with the 9th movie, I mean, where Jason's body jumping. I know people hate that, but I'm fine with Jason Goes to Hell. I like the movie.
So do I. I like the movie. Hey, Zero Cool. Hope you're doing well, John. And because it's The Exorcist, probably. Well, the last couple Exorcist films, no one gave a shit about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, real quick, like before, your thoughts on William Friedkin. What was your favorite William Friedkin film since he passed away? And he directed The Exorcist, of course. Because in the stream, I mentioned my favorite is The Hunted. I saw it in the theater, and it's very
That's a
underrated.
great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated, I think, is Rampage.
Yeah, Michael Biehn.
Yeah, I don't think that's on Blu-ray either. It really should be.
No.
That's a really fun movie. Of course, To Live and Die in LA is fantastic. I like The Exorcist, Sorcerer, French Connection. I love Killer Joe as well for obvious reasons. McConaughey is just on a whole nother level in that. But yeah, dude, Rampage is fucking good. That's a really cool movie. I think more people should check that one out if they can find it.
Yeah. I mean, The Hunt is my favorite. I actually like Jade, the director's cut with David Caruso.
I always forget about Jade. I have that on Blu-ray. Yeah, I think he tried to do like a really cool car chase in that one, like with the previous with French Connection, but I gotta see it again. It's honestly been a long ass time since I've seen Jade. But I always remember the car chase scene.
But yeah, I would say like I said, I prefer the director's cut. There's a little bit like the ending's a little bit longer, and that's only on VHS. But thank you, Hopium. Why was the Wanted trailer such a piece of spam? I'll put that. I know what I mean. It's spam in a can.
You should know by now.
Because all the people were asking for a Wanted prequel, apparently, that I didn't know about. because I've never heard a single person. I'm sure when it comes out, people will say it's Game Busters. The star from Dune needed another job in case his Dune Part 2 don't work out, as in it being a hit.
Mhm.
Because Hugh Grant, he needs to cast more movies, even as Oompa Loompas. I don't know. The guy playing Wonka looks boring as hell. The musical numbers don't seem like much to me. I don't know why you needed Wonka. Wasn't there a sequel to Wonka in book form, and they never did that as a movie?
I have no idea. I'm not sure, honestly.
I think there is. Hey there, Lucas. Everyone else in the chat. Yeah, Onion Hat for sale. Yeah, a prequel no one was asking for. That's par for the course today. That happens a lot today. Don't ask me. Fuck if I know, man. Hey, I don't know butcher's name. Joshin, Joshin, I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry, man. Jasha. Did you know back in January, the director of the Batman announced that he was going to direct a limited series about Buster Keaton by Warner Brothers? Okay, Buster Keaton getting some love. I mean, there was a Chaplin movie back in the day. Robert Downey Jr. David Duchovny was in that. Okay. I mean, good luck. Wait for a trailer, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I agree. I learned a long time ago to not get excited about anything. Doesn't matter who's
Exactly.
doing it. Doesn't matter who's involved. I don't get excited about anything. I'll get excited when I see a trailer, maybe. Like if it's really good. And I mean, I think by now, all of us, if not most of us, can kind of differentiate like bad movies that have a good trailer versus like good movies that might have a bad trailer. So it's like, I don't get excited. I keep my expectations as low as possible so that when I go in, I'm never disappointed. That's what I always do.
Lucas, your request, you requested. He was very generous for me to play the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. I played some today. Really am enjoying it. A lot of fun.
Great game.
Okay, so you played it.
Yeah, I was all over that as soon as it came out, man. Like that was fantastic. That was exactly what
Yeah.
you want, I think, in a Spider-Man game. I might even go so far as to say you don't ever need to play any other ones that aren't made by, I think it's Insomniac that made that one. So yeah, it's that good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and thank you, Lucas, for that request. And again, I played about 4 hours, and I didn't get far. Number one, because I suck at games, so I get mad at games because I suck. And two, because I did all like this. I was just doing like side missions and stuff. So yes, it was a lot more fun to me so far than Arkham Knight, Lucas Green, because Arkham Knight wasn't for me. Hey, B McB, hope everything's good in Ireland. We got someone from Australia, someone from Ireland.
Nice.
Very cool. And yeah, Myth Beats Fiction. I was talking about Jackie Chan, the autobiography where he admitted that he got pissed one time and threw his 2-year-old kid so hard into the sofa, as well as cheating on his wives and having illegitimate kids and all that stuff. And talk about how awful America is and supporting China over Hong Kong and all this stuff. So, great guy, at least to me. But no, I doubt them. I don't know. A lot of movies are flopping nowadays. I don't think with the budget it had also Wilcott, it's flopping though. Never played Grand Theft Auto 4. Insomniac games make great games. I enjoyed the Resistance series. Haven't played those.
I wish they continued that series. Those were great games.
Oh, you're on holidays on Croatia? Interesting. I hope that's going well, Broadstite. Street. See,
For a second, I'm like, I'm hosting the show now. Cool.
it's because in Testify mentioned this, the whole world imploded, that Blumhouse might be getting the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street and using the CGI Robert Englund as Freddy.
I had heard that they had already gotten the rights. I don't know if that's really true. That could still be a rumor. I don't know if that's been confirmed anywhere. The whole CGI thing, I hadn't heard that. The last thing I remember Jason Blum saying was that he could get Robert Englund. He kept saying, "I'll get him. Don't worry, I'll get him." I think he knows better than to use a CGI version of anyone. Doesn't matter who the hell it is. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, like, if you get Robert, I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off anymore. He said it himself. That's not just me, like, shitting on him. I don't know. I say just leave it alone. If they were going to do it, they probably would have been better off doing it around or maybe after Freddy versus Jason, while he still was able to move fairly good and probably had a lot more patience to sit in, a makeup chair for 8 to 10 hours. So, and his documentary was fantastic, by the way.
I agree. Got it right over there.
Yep.
We're having
I got it right over
on
here.
the channel.
Yep.
Yeah, really good. Mm-hmm. And Robert Englund's just too old. Just look for something new.
Yeah.
Don't reboot Elm Street. God damn.
Don't sequelize. Don't reboot. Don't requel. Don't midquel. Whatever they're gonna do, don't do anything with it. Just leave it alone. And another person that's getting up there, Kane Hodder. I was just with him on Sunday. Like I told you, I go to his table all the time and bullshit with him. Dude, he's looking so much more old, like, in the face, but he's still strong as fuck, man. Like I was shaking his hand and like I almost pulled back like a deformed hand. Like it was crazy. This dude is so strong, but he's so like up there in age, and he can still move good. I was with him like because there's like a lower level where they do like all photo ops and stuff, like to take pictures of anybody in their screen worn costume or whatever. And like he had that on, and he was moving like a 25-year-old dude. Like he still got it. I mean, just maybe in the face, he's not like as youthful anymore, but like everything else, you wouldn't even know that he's like up there in age.
And yes, someone was asking me here about Freddy vs. Jason. That film is, I'm 50-50 on it. It was a fun experience in the theater.
Yes.
There's some cool kills. There's some visual flair. I hate the characters, although I like Robert Englund. Take the Emotionless Zombie, feel free, man. I mean, I don't have those games, but if you want to, feel free, man. Thank you, if you want. But Freddy vs. Jason, I don't like what they did with Jason. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he moves. I get where they're going with him being afraid of water, but it just came off as really stupid. I really do not like the lead girl. I thought she sucked. I thought it was a better Freddy movie than Jason movie. And there's stuff I like about it and there's stuff I don't. If I like on my Friday the 13th list, it's pretty low. I disagree, AB Jeans. I think Monty Tina was one of the worst leads in Friday the 13th films. and Nightmare on Elm Street films. I think she's one of the worst. Because you go from like Heather Langenkamp and Lisa Wilcox and Patricia Arquette to Monica Keena, or Amy Steele and Laura Parlinton, and then Monica Keena, who I don't know. She's like to me, she was a poor woman's Brittany Murphy. That's just the way I looked at it. Like Brittany Murphy would have done better. It doesn't help that it was written poorly as well, and yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the film, but I have a lot of issues with it, and I think there's a lot of stuff I wish they had done differently. I wish it was Kane Hodder. I wish it was
here.
a different Jason, and Jason was too much of a wimp. I thought Freddy was too much of a. I thought Freddy kicked Jason's ass too much. Because in the dream world made sense, pinball thing. But even in the real world, Freddy got more hits than it seemed. I thought, okay, that's kind of weird. He cuts the fingers off. He gets the knives in the eyes. He's chopping them down with the back of his hands.
Yeah.
And stand next to a mountain. I don't know. Like I said, I'm 50-50 on it.
Yeah. Great theatrical experience, though.
Thank you, Bobby. I really appreciate it, man. Mutant Mayhem is the worst. Then the 2014 film is the second worst. Then the 2016 film. And then that Rise of show that I barely watched, so I can't comment a whole lot. But the stuff I have watched wasn't for me. But I would say Mutant Mayhem is the most annoying film I've seen. Even more than Next Mutation with Venus in her titties. I'd rather watch that than the. But Ronnie, you didn't want Kane Hodder, you want a new Jason. I know, but Ronnie New doesn't know shit about Friday 13th or Elm Street, so give a fuck what he thinks.
And he was also the person that added in more comedy elements too. I remember him saying that. I think that was on it was either the Never Sleep Again documentary or the Crystal Lake Memories documentary. I remember him saying like, have more fun with it. Like it's okay to have stuff like that. And I'm like, is it? Like, I don't know about that. Like, you're not making a fucking comedy. It's a horror film, but you know, what do I know? I'm not a director.
I'm not either. Frame by frame, how do you think Seth Rogen will handle Casey Jones in the sequel? I don't know. He'll be transgender. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. Casey and the Sunshine Band Jones. I don't fucking know. I don't care. Fuck the movies. Fuck Seth Rogen and his meth head. I don't think he's a pothead anymore. I think he upgraded to meth. That's what he's smoking. Yes, Dippy, I do. I mentioned that before, but yes, I do, because these four annoying twab waffles that like to twerk and shit. Fuck them. Yeah, I did see 13 Fanboy. I thought it was a pretty awful movie. It's from the director. She starred in Friday the 13th Part 5, the actress. And it has like all these cameos. I thought it was a poorly made movie. That's just me.
I haven't seen
it. Someone's asked about Brandon Cronenberg. Not a bad director. I liked. Did he do Possessor?
Yeah.
I didn't mind that, although I wasn't big on the last one he did, the
Infinity Pool.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that. Didn't mind Possessor, though.
What about his first one, Antiviral?
I don't remember much about that movie, so I can't comment.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential. Looking forward to seeing what he does next. I could say at least he's being creative. and doing original
Yeah.
stuff. I always respect that. Doesn't seem
Yeah.
like he's like following anybody or he's inspired by anybody but his father, who was definitely in his time and at his best. He was really great. David Cronenberg, he was great when he was at his best. He was really good. So,
Thank you, Bobby. No, they set it up at the end for a sequel because there's a character named Cynthia Utrom who's Russian. Of course, she's Russian because Russians are the bad guys at the end, just like the 80s. Avant, like very heavy. Avant to foot. I can't do Russian to save my life. So, and she's talking to someone who I guess is a shredder, which makes no sense because there's no background between them and the turtles. But I don't know. It'll probably be like Spider-Man: Homecoming and shit. You know, they'll go that. I gotta do my homework. Now I gotta go be a hero today. Go watch some more Ferris Bueller. It's day off. Nippy, just feel free to watch my review of Me Man if you want to. I understand it's pretty long, but I go pretty in depth on it. Hey, Mark, do you know? Let's see. Hey, Mark, do you know Peter Jackson's Bad Taste?
yes, I do. Just watched it recently, maybe a couple months ago. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I mean, I don't watch it all the time, but I like all the gore gags. I think he was being very not inventive. What's the other word?
Creative.
Innovative
Mm.
with what he had at his disposal. Because that's a very, very low budget film. Almost no budget, or maybe even what you'd call micro budget. And he pulled off something really cool. And I think the movie still holds up. I don't know how much of a fan of it that he might be now. Like, I rarely see him talk about those movies, which is a shame. I don't think that's anything for him to be ashamed of.
No, those are the best movies in my opinion.
Oh, really? You're not in the camp of liking like the latter half of his career. So I know people that like. Okay.
Much prefer his earlier. From Bad Taste to The Frighteners is to me Peter Jackson. I love Dead Alive. I like Meet the Feebles. I got the DVD over there. I like Bad Taste. The Frighteners is one of my favorite Michael J. Fox films.
Same here.
I love that stuff. I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. All respect to people who like this stuff. I'm not. That's not for me. If I want fantasy, I'll go watch Conan or Conan the Destroyer. Gotcha. And get some Grace Jones action in there.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a fan of his Teen Prawn movie that's 3 hours long. It has Jack Black in it. To me, miscast. It takes an hour to get to the island. But I prefer Kong Skull Island and the 30s Teen Prawn over his Teen Prawn. I didn't see his Hobbit movies because I was a Lord of the Rings guy. Much prefer his horror stuff. That's just me, though.
I'm in that same boat. That's some of my favorite stuff. I love The Frighteners. I mean, I saw that in the theater when I was really young, and like I didn't think you could have a movie like that. That was probably one of the first movies where
thank you, man.
He was trying to have some legit scares in, but all while being funny. And it's such a perfect balance, I think. There are some genuinely like just great like I wouldn't even call them action sequences, but it's just a fun ass movie. Like I love that movie. Like it's very underrated in my opinion. Usually when I hear people talk about Peter Jackson, it's always the Lord of the Rings stuff, but I'm a big Frighteners guy.
Yeah, and also really like Dead Alive. There was talks for a while that he was going to get them on Blu-ray and then 4K, and then I don't know, he's like James Cameron. He's going to do it, but it'll take another 10 years. Bobby, I don't know, and I don't care unless you just throw it in the toilet. It just completely start anew, start fresh. It doesn't matter if it was a Jehovah's Witness shredder. It doesn't help if you have those shitty characters as the lead turtles twerking and milking and all sorts of shit again. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, love the Frighteners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Sean, I've heard of Splatter Farm. I've never seen it, but I believe that's one of those shot on video movies.
Mm-hmm.
Or as
SOV
some would
film.
say, shot on Studio. It's one of the shot on Studio movies. Have you seen those? Are you a fan of those shot
The
on
shot
Studio
on.
film?
There's a couple that I like. Are you familiar with the movie Bloodletting?
Gerald Bookwalter was involved, like producing or something.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I only have like maybe 5 to 10 shot on video movies. I don't have a lot of them.
I vaguely remember Bloodletting, I think.
Okay. Well, that was one I liked. Cannibal Campout is always one that comes to mind. I'm a little iffy on the video violence movies. Wood Chipper Massacre. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. I'll be honest. Like, there's a few that I like, but I'm not big into like collecting those or watching those. Honestly,
me neither. Although I did not mind. I think it was called Ozone, and there's Gerald Bookwalter. I didn't mind that, and I think that has that same quality. Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really go out of my way to look for those movies.
No. And there might be some good ones like in the format. I don't seek them out. Like, I like my 35 millimeter, 70 millimeter, like all that stuff. Like, I just prefer like actual film. Nothing wrong with DV. I like DV, but again, I don't seek out those movies in that format. Like, if I happen to see one, cool, but I'm not going to look for it.
Like someone says, Seth Rogen had good movies? ? That depends who you ask again.
I didn't mind some of the early stuff. Like, Knocked Up was a surprise. I mean, it's a romance comedy masquerading as like underneath it's very much a stoner comedy, which I didn't see coming. But that was like the first introduction to that type of thing from Rogen. Like, you hadn't seen it so many times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's enough of the rom-com aspect on there to like get you through. And I don't think those characters are nearly as like unlikable as some of the other ones that he did later. Like, I could stomach that one. That one's fine. I like Knocked Up. Superbad was fine. Another pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be what it was, but again, he's barely in that. I know he did write it. I didn't mind This Is the End.
Yeah, I didn't mind this. I didn't mind Superbad. This Is the End, if I'm being honest. I did not mind The First Neighbors for what it was.
Oh, yeah. I like that. That was fun.
And I liked the film he did called Observe and Report, which is a very different role for him.
Right. I always forget about that one because it's not like the others at all.
Yeah. No, he's playing a very different type of character. There you go. Okay, if you want to say they want to add like teens, have them talk like Superbad. There you go.
Yeah.
R-rated term. There you go. You want to talk about realistic teens. But I didn't mind him for who he was. It's just the past few years, he did this anime show that was awful called Santa's Inc. Sausage Party, I thought was garbage. And that film was ultra garbage. I liked some stuff he did with James Franco. Pineapple Express I liked.
I'll say when he got to This Is the End, to me, This Is the End felt like the culmination of like that whole what they used to call the Apatow family with Jay Baruchel, Jonah Hill, Paul
Mhm.
Rudd, Jason Segel, Franco, like all those guys, Craig Robinson, even that felt like the culmination of all those movies that they were doing. Like you had Get Him to the Greek on the side, as well as Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and there was another one, She's Out of My League or some shit like that. Like all those were like fine. I had no issues with those because there weren't a whole lot of those coming out anymore up until that point. That point, like they cornered that like whole subgenre of like rom com stuff
Mhm.
and some stoner comedy stuff because again, it wasn't a whole lot of it at that point. I mean, maybe you had like the Harold and Kumar stuff here and there, but it wasn't a constant. And when they started putting all those out back to back, and then like This Is the End came out, and think in 2012 or 2013, that felt like the end of that era, honestly. And since then, I haven't really been a big fan of anything after that. I didn't care for the
Mhm.
interview. I only watched it once. I thought about watching it again just to see if I might like it, but I'm like, no, I got so
I
much other
agree with
stuff
you
I
on
need
that
to
one.
watch.
I agree
Yeah.
with you on that one. But thank you, General. Should the series die? Thoughts on Saw 10? I'm gonna give it to Mark first. What was your thoughts on the trailer?
I thought like at this point, what else can you do with a Saw movie? Um
Space.
it don't give them ideas because like that's probably gonna happen. Um it's just a shame that like here we go again. I think that we've now I'm not the biggest Saw expert, but I'm pretty sure we've had a similar storyline to this one before where like maybe it was Saw 6 where it was like the insurance company like fucked him over or something and then he killed them all. And this is sort of the same thing like he's gotten a surgery and it didn't really work or maybe there was no surgery. But it's just like if you're at least going to do it again, don't copy the same fucking storyline that you've already done where it's so close. I mean, by now we can expect the whole thing with the traps because that's the gimmick. But at least make something where you can at least claim that, like, hey, this is different story wise. This is,
It is
we haven't
different.
done
There's more
this.
Tobin Bell. There'll be more Tobin Bell in this. This is a prequel. It's how it began. It's how the days began
Yeah.
again.
I'm trying to think though. Should it die off? I don't care if it does. That's the only answer I can give you. I don't care if it does or if it doesn't. Um,
It should. It should have died with the third movie when he died.
that's true. Yeah. That probably
Because
would have
it
been
was.
the more logical like spot to stop.
I could watch the first two. After that, I wasn't a fan. It really did feel like the same movie over and over again. I know
Mm-hmm.
people accuse other franchises of that. This one really felt that way, like the same movie. It's like Final Destination. After when you got into the third film, like
Mm-hmm.
Saw, it just felt like the same movie over and over. As much people give crap to Friday the 13th, even that changed it up more. We had a fake Jason. We had a
Mm-hmm.
telekinetic girl. You, as silly or crazy as it was still trying to be more unique than what I see in this stuff. And Saw 10, it's like, okay, for those fans who like that stuff, you're just seeing rinse and repeat. That's all you want, and you don't want anymore. Cool.
So that's what
Uh,
they're giving you. I mean,
yeah,
they want to see more or new traps or whatever. Um, so that's what works, and they just keep doing it. I mean, I don't know how it's gone on this long, honestly. Um, but I guess they haven't really necessarily lost money with any of the movies, so maybe that's it. But yeah, it's whatever. It's no different to me. It's like it's no different than the Friday the 13th thing. Yeah, they changed the movies up, but I know how the studios are. They always want a franchise, um, a successful one at that. But that's their main thing. Like if it's their main cash cow. Like they're gonna milk it until they can't anymore, and that's
Yeah.
what Lionsgate's always done. That's what Paramount did. That's what New Line did with Nightmare.
Milking, John. Don't do Don't talk about milking, Mark.
They brought it full circle. Now we're back again.
Don't talk about milking. Had enough milking. Fuck. I agree. Low budgets, maximum profits. Even if they don't seem like blockbusters, they still make a profit, so they keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep not giving a fuck.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't care if it ends or not. It's whatever at this point. I don't care.
But hey there, YK. Sorry, Stretch. I've never heard of the Devil's Candy, so I can't say anything about it.
I think I've seen that. It's been a long time. I remembered liking that. I think that's Ethan Embry in that one. It was a solid movie from what I remember. It's been a long time. Man, I kind of forgot about that one.
I disagree. Myth beats fiction. The same that you said that only Elm Street has a good third and fourth film. Rocky 3 and 4 are good. I love Rambo 3 and 4. I think there's a lot of franchises that have a good 3 and 4. I don't hate Friday the 13th Part 3, and I like Part 4. So there's a lot. I like Halloween 3 and 4. So there you go. And by Halloween 3, they tried something different.
Right, yeah.
I like Scream, but I feel Scream needs to end.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt that way
mean,
a long time ago for me.
Yeah, that should have ended a while ago, honestly. I think the ending with like I think it's the third. I'm pretty sure it's the third one where she like is sort of free of all the trauma and like everything that's happened, and it's over. I think if you were gonna do Scream again, you probably shouldn't do it at all. But if you were gonna do it again, maybe just do something different with it. I know they're gonna use the property because they have to, but at this point, like I think the reason why they've gone down in quality is more so because they're trying to continue the story. And honestly, like the whole Sydney thing, that's wrapped up. It's been wrapped up. It's been over with. It's been done. Just no more. Like I'm fine with it going away. And I love the first one. Like the first one's fantastic. It should have just I don't hate 2 or anything, but the first one's still the best one. I mean,
yeah.
But
I like the first. Yeah, I like the first. I like the third one. I'm not big on 2. But yeah, the first one I do enjoy. Third, I quite enjoy a bit, not just for Creed, but for other reasons as well.
I think it's got a great like subplot to it.
Yeah,
that's very realistic. The whole thing with Lance Henriksen.
Yeah,
and I always point out the irony
with
that subplot and the producer of the actual
Harvey
movie.
Weinstein.
Yes,
Weinstein owns
life imitating art.
Dimension.
Yeah,
Lance Henriksen was playing Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, life imitating art, which is something they always mention in the movies. So there you go.
Yeah, Scream 3 should have been the last. I'm not a fan of 4. 5 is worse, and I hate 5 and 6 so much. I do. Killing off Dewey in such a stupid way. And then Scream 6 was such a useless fucking film. So, thank you, Bobby. I don't know what this means. New Mayhem sucks. I'm not My Little Pony guy. I'm not a Barbie guy. I'm just not for me. I know that makes me some kind of Easterphobe. Not you. You're always cool, Bobby. But like people in the world, if you don't like this, you're this. I'll go with New Mayhem. I'll go with that, Bobby. But yeah, don't give a fuck about Barbie and all this other shit. If you people do cool, don't care. Mark, you could go watch Barbie and tell me about it.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I saw the movie I needed to see that weekend, and that was Oppenheimer. So
Yeah.
I'm good. And then and then Cobweb as well. I saw that. That was cool.
Cool.
Oh, and speaking of the first Scream, I just met them this weekend, the cast. Everybody was great. I had a great time with those guys. They were all really cool. Jamie Kennedy is really funny in person.
Cool.
I got to make him laugh, which was great. Yeah, those guys are really cool.
How'd you make them laugh?
So, have you ever seen the movie he did called Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah, I enjoy that movie.
Okay. You know the rap CD that like he has like in the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I managed to like make that. Like I got the album art, which was not hard. I mean, not easy to do. It was very, very hard to find. And I like, got the disc. I mean, if you have like any CDs in general, all you have to do is like pop everything open and like replace the artwork. So I did that. And I went up to him and I'm like, "Oh, can you sign my Scream thing and whatever?" So we start talking, and then I had almost forgot. I'm like, "Hey, wait, check this out." So I pull it out, and then like he like dies laughing. He's like, "Where the hell did you find this?" Um, and like they always have somebody with him. There was somebody with him at the table, and he's like, "Look at what he has! Like this is insane." Um, so yeah, he just couldn't stop laughing. And he's like, dude, I have like the only one of these, and he's like, it's up on my wall at home, but he's like, this is so cool. He couldn't believe that I had it. And I'm guessing I'm the only one who ever did that, but I just thought it'd be funny to see if I could get a chuckle out of him with it, and it actually worked. So, and then actually, it's right over here. I don't know if it'll show up. My green screen better not fuck this
Well,
up.
actually, let me do this then.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys see that?
A little bit closer. Can you put a little bit closer?
It's kind of out of focus. Yeah, it's my camera's not focusing on it, but you can
So it
kind
just
of see
says
it.
Jamie Kennedy. Like, what does it say on
So
there?
so it says so he was busy laughing when like he took it out and he started writing. So the name of the rap CD it's Malibute. So it's three chicks, him in the middle, and he put Malibute all day. And then it says underneath B Rad, which was his rap name in the movie, and then his name, Jamie Kennedy, underneath. But then I was like, could you put to my number one fan at the top? And that's what he wrote. It's really hard to see. The camera's not focusing that well, but again, I thought it was fucking funny. So he liked it. So yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And I've always enjoyed that movie. I saw it in the theater.
Me too.
Malibu's Most Wanted when it came out. I still had fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, Skeet was really cool too. We ended up talking about Chill Factor. I don't know how we got on that. I probably brought it up, but like, but yeah, we ended up talking about that, and then
So wait. What did he say about Chill Factor? Because I remember that movie, Cuba Gooding Jr.
mm-hmm.
Chill Factor. What did he say about it?
So the first thing he said, he's like, he laughed and he's like, oh man, good old Cuba. And I'm like, oh, what about him? Like, what's he like? And he's like, dude, I couldn't wait to go home because in between every take of the movie, he had me dying laughing. I had a stomach ache every day. He's like, he's funnier than like you wouldn't believe. Like he's downright hysterical. You don't get to see a lot of that in any of his movies or anything, but yeah, he's just a really funny guy. Rose was sweet. She's a sweetheart. A lot of people were intimidated. Like, so I have friends there as well. And they were like, dude, I don't want to go up to her. I'm like, what? Like, why? Like, and she's so little. Like, she's like, because like you watch a movie like Planet Terror, right? And like, she looks like this very stout, like almost voluptuous, even like woman, like full figured and whatever.
Mhm.
But she's not like, dude, she is so little. I was like, huh? Like, did you shrink? What happened? But she's super nice. Um, ended up sharing a table with her, um, briefly, very briefly. She was like, I guess she was coming from like one of the Q and A's, and I had stepped out of the con area just to sit down for a minute, and there wasn't a lot of tables, so I was sitting there, and then like she like came right up, and she's like, "Can I use this?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, of course you can like sit here, like or do whatever you got to do. So like her cameraman came up. He started taking pictures
Was it
of her.
was it
Um,
Kenny the cameraman?
no,
Yeah. No.
but and no, Kenny the cameraman was not there. Um, she's a sweetheart though, man. She was so nice. Um, the other dude, Lee Waddell, who's Ghostface, the guy who plays Ghostface in the movie, he was there. Um, he was another awesome dude to talk to, full of so many stories. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's worked on everything from Terminator to damn near every Wes Craven movie. Um, very
Hmm.
accomplished stunt man. Um, and he asked me he's like, come on, let's take a picture. I for some reason that didn't even like register, like it didn't even click for like, hey, get a picture with him. And he pulled me in. He's like, come
Yeah.
on. So that was really nice. Um, and I didn't get to talk to him as much as everybody else. Um,
Mhm.
then I went to Dick Warlock's table, was talking to him. That was great because I actually got to sit down at the table and talk to Dick Warlock, which was awesome. Um,
Mm.
of course, inevitably, we were talking about Kurt Russell, um, which I mean, I'm sure all of you guys in the chat should know. Like he was his, his stunt man. So his double. He was great, man. Such a humble dude. Oh, talked about his fire stunts and Firestarter, as well as Halloween
Okay.
2. Um, he was saying like how hot that blaze was, like walking around on fire in because like in Firestarter, when Drew Barrymore sets him on fire, like the flames go up and like the heat like can escape and it's not enclosed, but like in the hallway in Halloween 2, like it's a hallway, so all the heat's right
Yeah.
there. And I think he said he was on fire longer in that scene anyway. So yeah, that was awesome. I just man, I was lucky, dude. Like every table that I went to, for the most part, it wasn't that many people there by the time I went.
Cool.
Same thing with Damian Leone. Sat and talked to him for a while. Um, I had like I collect all this crazy shit. I had like a French limited edition Terrifier set, and
Mm.
he was so like interested in like opening it up and taking out all the little pieces and everything. And he's like, "Can I?" And I'm like, "Of course, dude. Like that's like, that's every like physical media like horror fan geek. That's their dream. Like they want the director to like look at their shit. So like I'm like, "Here you go." So he's like looking through everything and he's like, again, the person that was next to him, he's like, "Man, we don't get good shit like this here." And I'm like, "Yeah, we don't." Like we really don't. Like the US releases are very, very streamlined to maybe you get a slipcase, maybe you don't type of release. Every now and again, you might get something special. Um, the whole cast for that was great. Met all them, talked to everybody uh, from the first movie and the second movie. It was like a reunion deal.
Cool.
Shit, I ran into Sean Clark. He's awesome. Um, Don May Jr. was there. Um, any of you guys like Synapse Films? He was great. Talked to him about all sorts of physical media releases and stuff. What they've got coming out, what's not coming out. Shitty releases. Shit. Trying to think, dude. There was it's funny because I did talk to David Howard Thornton. Matter of fact, if any of you guys do follow me on Instagram already, I have quite a few pictures from me and most of the people I'm talking about. I have all of it on my Instagram. Art, I did meet him twice. Well, once is Art and then once is David. Again, down in the area, the lower level where they have all the photo ops. I did get a photo op with him. And Damien was in the shot too. He was really cool. Like the the whole bell thing or like the horn, he was playing with that. And then when I got to meet him like later or the second day, because that was on Saturday when I met him, he was in costume and character as Art. And then Sunday I met him like at the table, and yeah, we talked about like his dream role, and he had a Joker shirt on and he's like pointing to that. He's like, I gotta get it. I'm like, dude, that'd be an interesting take. I'm like, I could see you doing it. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I'm just waiting by the phone. Like, James Gunn, call me up, man. Cause like I'm on board for it for sure. And some of the mannerisms that he does as Art came out, like when he's just like talking and stuff. So he was in character even when he wasn't in character, kind of. Yeah, I had a blast, and I did a lot of like promotional stuff for the pit, which they didn't ask me to do at all, but I did it anyway. And that was fun, like just networking and talking to fans. I don't usually do that. When I go to a con, I'm just like there for me and just buying shit and just walking around, you know. But this year I did a lot more talking and sitting down and giving people promotional stuff. So it was super fun.
So you bought Uncle Bill a computer, and now you give him all the business cards.
Yeah.
Did you?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yes. I mean, like with the whole computer thing, he was struggling a little bit. Like, and I'm like, I'm going to go right online and find him something. And within like 15 minutes, maybe, I found the perfect one, sent it to him. He ordered it, and it's on the way. So
Cool.
I'm glad he's going to be more stable these days once he gets it.
Let's see in the chat. Jeff Frost says, "Did any of them mention Terrifier 3?" I doubt it. I doubt they probably want to keep that under wraps.
Yeah. When I talked to Damien, he was like, "We're working on it," type of thing. Like, I didn't want to ask like, "Hey, what's the opening scene?" or like, "How far are you in the screenplay?" or what, any of that. I didn't do that. Like, and I figured like he wasn't going to tell me anyway, so I just didn't ask. It was more so, honestly, meeting him and talking to him for as long as I did, which felt like damn near half an hour. It was like what we're doing right now. He's a genuine horror fan. The dude's living his dream, which is awesome for him. And I got a big amount of respect for guys that do their own makeup effects and are all about the practical makeup stuff. I love that so much. And so, I mean, it was more of a conversation just like amongst friends almost. That's what it felt like. Of course, he doesn't fucking know who I am, shit like that. I don't, you know, but he was so cool, dude. Like, I think that's the first director that I met where like he gets it on like the very fundamental level of like being a fan of something horror wise, you know.
Cool.
yeah, it was a very unique conversation. I think also too because it's like he's a lot closer to like my age, and I guess around your age as well. So
Mm.
I mean, most of the directors that I talk to are always like, for the most part, they're over 50 years old or like in their close to their 60s. So it's a very different experience.
So people in the chat are saying, what are my thoughts on Logan Paul and WWE? I don't watch WWE nowadays, so I don't give a rat's ass what's happening. I'm sorry. I haven't watched it. I don't care. I have no interest. I listen to Jim Cornette. That's pretty much it. I just don't care. Funny enough, I would just answer that, man. Uh, no, I just don't care. I don't watch WWE. I haven't watched any of their stuff. They could be good for all I care. I'm just kind of not into any type of wrestling nowadays. I'm just not interested. I watch a couple of the old stuff. Maybe I've just grown out of wrestling, other than maybe watching older stuff for nostalgic reasons. But maybe that's the thing. A lot of wrestling was so bad for so many years. I just grew out of it. And I like hearing stories,
Mhm.
background, like Dark Side of the Ring or Jim Cornette's podcast, but I don't really watch the stuff anymore. None of the people really appeal to me. It's just not for me, I guess. Do you watch the wrestling today?
Not like I used to. I try to keep up. I'll like if I miss something, I'll probably like go back, but I'm skimming through the whole damn thing. I don't like because like what Raw is like 3 hours or something like that, I
Yeah,
think. So yeah, I'm not sitting through that. I always watch it
no, I
on
mean,
like the replay. I will skip through a lot of crap and watch like wrestlers that I like or I think are talented. Um, but that's kind of the gist of it. Like I don't sit there and like watch the whole thing. Not like how I used to back in the day.
someone's asking, do you like Brock Lesnar? Not if he does just 85 suplexes in a row and that's the match. That gets a bit boring after the eighth
Yeah.
one. I mean, I
Mhm.
respect his strength
Mhm.
and being a monster heel.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I buy him as a badass. So I
Right.
guess
Yeah.
there's that.
Mhm. Same here.
But I mean, again, German suplexes look like they hurt, but again, when he does this 16 of them, just gets old
Mhm.
quick for me. Again and
Yeah.
again and again, seeing it.
Agreed.
Uh,
Same here.
let's see. Never heard of the new girl, Marcus. Hey, Mover next door. Hope you're doing well. Yellow Summer with the Beatles. I've never seen it. Sorry. Uh, Death Wish 4 and 5 are getting Blu-rays from Kino Lorber.
Nice.
Cool. Uncle Bill will love that, especially Death Wish 5. Uh, Santa Sleigh. Oh, this is from Mark. Did you like Bill Goldberg in Santa Sleigh?
He was amazing.
He killed like Fran Drescher and James Caan in the beginning.
That you know, that movie's bad, obviously, but like I think like if you accept it and you know that going in and like you
It's
just kind of
fun.
yeah, you just go
Kind
with
of-
it.
it's
It's not that bad. Like I could watch it.
Same here. Like, it's goofy, silly fun. I could watch it.
Hmm.
Uh, no, I've never seen the Strays movie. There's a lot of R-rated dogs films. Togera. There's Man's Best Friend. There's Cujo, of course. There's the Pack, the Breed, and no, never heard of Strays. Uh, you're planning to get Laura Parr Lincoln's autograph from Part 7 Friday 13th. That's cool. Go over that boomstick. Uh, a lost scene from Poltergeist is going to be shown on Instagram. No, never heard that. I don't know why Instagram would be the first place for it to be shown.
Haven't heard that either.
Uh, Kurt Russell, would you prefer a sequel to The Thing or another Steve Plistian film? It's too late for either one nowadays. I mean, I think The Thing sequel would be interesting, but I think you could easily screw it up, and I don't want that to happen.
I would say Snake Plissken if I had to choose. Easily. Snake
Yeah, probably that, because what was that movie? Ghost of Mars was going to be a third Steve Plistian film,
Plissken.
and that would have been interesting with a bigger budget. That would have been cool. If it was, or Escape from Earth, that whole plot, that would have been cool to see as well.
Yeah.
Well, so I would say that. It's the same guy. Hey, I said read on more. Feel free to watch the review. It's in depth. It's over an hour long. You get all the T's crossed and I's dotted. Just feel free to watch the review that I just uploaded today. Reviews coming soon. Yeah, I mean nothing new. They're just requests for Bruno. Some comparisons. Thrashing, the Josh Brolin 80s Steve Gordon flick, which was fun. It was pure 80s. That's an 80s movie, Thrashing. Holy shit, that's an 80s movie. Yeah, some coming. Would either you be seeing The Maid 2? I would only be seeing it if it's a paid request.
Yeah, I'm not
because I
going to
wasn't
go
big on the
spend my
first one.
money. I'm not spending money to see that.
There you
That's
go.
not going to happen.
So yeah, if it's a paid request, sure. Otherwise, again, I wasn't even big on the first one. And from what I've heard of this film, it seems like nothing happens in the first hour of the movie. It's just Statham fights some guys, dumping some waste into the ocean.
Typical.
They crash on the sea floor and they walk slowly with red lights around them. And that's like an hour of the movie. That does seem like a lot of fun. So, nah, if it's a paid request, sure. But other than that, no. Has Mark ever seen Robo Vampire? Yeah.
Is that the
That's the one where
80s? The late isn't
it's an
RoboCop on the
80s
cover?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Crepes
that.
on the cover.
That's not good. Like it's not good. I do remember that.
No. Josh, though, I've never heard of Steelyard Blues. Frame or frame, no, I don't buy them as badasses. They're talking about sniffing, how someone's ass smells like. Maybe you should go sniff it if they want to know for sure. People who saw Maid 2 say it was boring and should have been R-rated. I could have told you that before I saw it. Yeah, it's like the first one. Then.
It's exactly what the first one.
So you saw the first Maid?
Partially. I don't know if I finished it. I remember seeing parts of it.
How did you? Was it on cable? Like you saw parts of it?
It was probably like
continue.
It was probably just like on like so. The smart TV I have like has like a live like broadcast feed like through the internet. So it's streamed like there's movie channels and stuff. It was on one of those, I think. So streaming technically. But I wasn't really paying attention.
And you didn't care to finish it.
It was just on. Like there's quite a few movies like that I've seen them that way. Like they're just on and I just don't like I'm like, oh, I know what that is. And maybe I'll look up every once in a while and I'm doing stuff in the background. It was one of those type of scenarios.
Let's see. would you consider Fear a horror or a thriller? If you mean the Mark Wahlberg film, I would say a thriller, which I like that movie.
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg.
probably one of his best performances, honestly.
Uh, Jeremy, hey there. What's your favorite Michael Myers kill? I think just because of the way it's not really the gore, it's Halloween 2 when the person's lifted up and the touch of their shoes fall into the ground. I thought that was a nice touch. The her shoes kind of it's not really about the gore. Because Halloween films they're usually not about gore, so
Mm-hmm.
probably either that or the shotgun impalement in Halloween 4.
That was the first thing that popped in my mind.
Yeah.
And there are so many kills in Halloween Kills that like I it all blurs together. I've only seen it once, so I don't know. I'm sure that's like the answer people are looking for, like something crazy like that. And if I had to
Ain't
pick from
mine.
that, it'd be probably the opening sequence with all the I think it's like the firefighters or something. That's
Mm.
what I remember. But yeah, it's those movies are very forgettable. The new trilogy. I remember the 2018 one the most, which I don't think is the worst. That's probably the best of the three.
Yeah. Hey, director screenwriter, that's Rich. Haven't watched your review yet. Hopefully, I didn't spoil anything for you. No, you were right because he saw the film. I had done a stream before, and he had seen the film with his daughter, who's 2 years old, and she fell asleep during the movie. And there was a kid who was like 7 years old behind him, and he wanted to leave. So there's your audience. One fell asleep and one wanted to leave. So there's your fucking intended audience. There you go. Hopefully you enjoy the review, Rich. I'm very blunt and very honest, and I hated the movie, and it's probably the worst Turtles film I've ever seen. And no, you didn't spoil everything because I got to see the twerking, and I got to see all the other shit in the movie. So that was great. That was fantastic. And then being just TikTok reject idiots. That was great. That was wonderful. Is Halloween Ends the worst of the three? Yes, in my opinion, of the new Halloween trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
You may have Missouri made his budget back. Well, good for it. Congrats. I still think your movie sucks ass. Mark, have you seen The Forgotten with Julianne Moore?
Yes, and I try to forget that I saw it. So there you go. Watched it one time.
I do remember. I do remember that movie. People did jettison right into the sky. As aliens. You don't like that? X-Files. Conspiracy. Aliens, Mark. It's X-Files.
That's the problem. Like it's trying really hard to be like an average episode of X Files, and it's not even that. So no, I'm good on that movie.
Hey, Chaz with Popcorn. Neil Punt is asking Mark, what are your most overrated 80s songs?
Overrated 80s songs. That's really tough to choose because I like so many songs from the 80s. So, and honestly, I'm not sure like how it differentiate like what's overrated and what's underrated necessarily from the 80s because it nowadays everything's so 80s nostalgic heavy. Like,
okay, is there a song from a movie in the 80s that you felt they overplayed too much? That you just got tired of them doing it? Doesn't have to be movies you love either. It could be like movies you're like whatever, but then they just kept playing the song everywhere.
Not that I can think of. No, I'm sure as always after the stream ends, I'll think of one, but no, not right now. I can't think of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be hard for me to pick 80s. Yeah, 90s. My Heart Will Go On. That played all the time. The Titanic came out. Let's see. Can you imagine Seth Rogen Shredder would be like? I don't want to imagine. You feel that Michael Myers should have been in Corey's head until the last 10 minutes? Be a much tighter script. I think the whole thing just should not have been made in the first place, but that's just me.
That's not how
Hey,
you
Mark,
end a
what's your-
trilogy. It just isn't.
people? Okay, how so? I know why, but for people like, you just a hater, Mark. Why you hate everything? How it ended perfectly? What are you talking about? Why, Mark? Explain.
Transferring evil, just like so many things in it. Like, well, first of all, the marketing, it was pitched as like the final fight between the hero and the villain that the franchise is most known for. But that was reduced to like 5 minutes, maybe at the very end. And the whole trailer is nothing but that. So they sell you on that idea and you don't get it. That's probably strike one. Strike two would be the whole infecting someone with evil thing. That's never been something that like I thought was the case for the character of Michael. Like, to me, he's born that way. Like, he just is. It's not like he was infected by something, a comic book or a video game or whatever the hell. Like, that's not what it was. And to try to introduce something like that in the final movie of a trilogy is ridiculous. Now, if you're going to do a spinoff movie to the trilogy, maybe I could accept that. Maybe. Because it would have nothing to do with Laurie Strode. It would have nothing to do with everything that they had set up going before. Only they need some sort of a way to like have a continuation somehow without actually doing another trilogy. Maybe a one-off movie, but still I wouldn't have gone with the being infected with evil route. I would have just been more eager to just do something original, I'd say. Trying to make another evil character just for the sake of it. Maybe the guy's just using the mask because that's what he found and he was around all of the crimes. Maybe he was a survivor from the last movie or something like that. And a series of unfortunate events and unfortunate circumstances pushed him into that kind of way of dealing with his problems where he's killing or something. Anything else would have been better than what they did, honestly. And there's a whole bunch of other like little problems like throughout the movie that I couldn't believe that like she fell for the guy, like Laurie's granddaughter. She's in love with the guy within like 30 minutes or some shit. Like, come on. Really? She feels
Can I ask you
sorry
a
for
question?
him. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Her daughter, the granddaughter's mother, dies, murdered by Michael Myers. And Michael Myers hasn't been found. Still don't know where he's at. Why would you not move? Why would you stay and celebrate Halloween like the person never died? Let's bake your cookies. It's Halloween.
Well, their half-assed
Laurie
excuse
Strode,
was that she's over all that. She has to let go. She can't keep holding on to past trauma. That's what they say in the movie.
so she had all this trauma when a couple friends died, but not when her own daughter is murdered. And Michael Myers is still around, and he was never caught. And they know he was in town.
It had been, I'm not sure how many years, but to the point where like she's over everything that happened. I don't know.
But yeah, isn't Michael Myers still in there? He's never been caught. So how do they know? By the end of the second film, he's in the house and he murdered the daughter of Laurie Strode. They don't know where he's at. They just like.
I think they assumed that he moved on to go elsewhere, but then they kept having all these like random murders happen, or not
Just
murders,
moved
but like
on.
random bad things, and everything was always painted as Michael's fault.
He just moved on.
So
He just got bored. He went to Taco
yeah,
Bell,
yeah,
ate
he's
too
gone.
much, and had a big shit.
He moved away.
He went to the border after Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid.
I mean, but that's the whole movie though. Like the whole movie's like that. It's full of problems.
Windsurfing at the end, his dead body. To the fucking windsurfing the body, like into the ground him up into hamburger.
Oh
Putting the
yeah,
meat
yeah.
on.
Right.
Hey, but that guy's doing Exorcist, so have fun with that.
They could be doing Nightmare. We don't know. Blumhouse has it. He's probably going to do it.
Ghoulies. Do Ghoulies.
Charles Band's not letting that slip away.
I'll go on for a little bit longer. I don't want to. I know Mark's probably busy with a lot of stuff, so I don't want to keep him up for. I don't know how long you'd be open to be on.
However long you want to go, man.
So I'll be on. I'll like 20 minutes or so. Why not make this 2.5 hours? Good time.
Cool.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. I laughed out loud in the theater when they crowd surfed him. It's a pretty funny image. I get the idea they were saying, but the fact he was crowd, it's a funny image. You don't think of Michael Myers crowd surfing like one of the airheads at the end. Degeneration. What do you guys think is the most underrated band? For me, it's Slade. Have you guys ever heard Slade before? I don't know much about Slade. As underrated band? I'll say Limp Bizkit because I always liked them. I never really hated them like everyone else did.
But they kind of had their moment in the sun. Like for a while there, they were really popular, right?
Yeah, I just meant like nowadays is looked as like
now,
one of the
right?
worst bands, and that's what I mean. Like as according to now, not so much back then. I don't think they were as bad as people were. Compared to other bands at that time.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of one right now. That's underrated.
Yeah, it's tough. Like,
yeah, it's always tough with that.
Let's see. Yeah, Nickelback. I liked some of their songs. I never hated them like other people did. Apartment 26 and Curve. I've never heard of those bands, so I guess they are underrated. I've never heard of them. Mark, what are your top favorite games?
Top favorite games.
And yes, I do like Creed quite a bit, but I didn't think they would be in the underrated crowd, so I didn't mention them. But I love Creed.
As far as newer stuff goes, I really like Cyberpunk. I was really into that. That was great.
So you played the fixed version.
So funny thing with that, like I never had any issues like how everybody else did. I saw the videos, I saw the tweets and everybody crying and complaining, and that's really awful if that's what you had to go through. But mine never acted like that. And I thought I was the only one until I watched like a IGN like review, I think it was. And the chick that was doing it, like she didn't have any issues, but the other guy who was on the review, like he said he did have issues, and I'm like, so I wonder what that was about. I don't know how that
What
all
did you play
works,
it
but
for?
like, what did I
What
play
did
it
you play
on?
it for? Yeah, that's what I
PC.
meant. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I don't play anything on console. I gave up console like maybe what is 2023 now? Probably 2016.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't everything's on PC. So it's like I I don't feel the need to play console when if you want to play it online, you got to pay for it. And that's not being me being cheap. It's just like some of these games like you just want to jump in and jump out of and it may not even
Hmm.
be worth paying for. Um that and like it's a central hub my PC. Like I can play anything from any
Yeah.
console on my PC. So
Okay.
um it's like what's the point? I just emulate like if I want to play something that's only on PS3 or something like that.
So
Like those
was there some
exclusives that
points
never got
glitch?
ported over. No. I didn't
That's
I didn't
good.
have any glitches at all. I never had a problem.
Ooh. So what other games do you like? I know that I said five. Doesn't have to be old. It doesn't have to be newer. It could be all time or something.
Um well obviously I'm a big horror person. The Condemned games. Did you ever play those?
Mm. Uh, I know what they are. Never
Okay.
played them. I know what they. Uh,
Yeah, that first one especially, like it has some really, really creepy stuff in it. And it's really fun too. I think the whole thing is it's perfect. It's probably one of the best horror games ever. That and Manhunt, which I highly recommend you check out. If you're a slasher
okay.
movie fan, you have to play Manhunt. There's no question about it. Um, yeah, definitely in the top 5 of best horror games is Manhunt. I don't know. I like Doom, the older ones, the newer ones. I played those. The Half Life games, of course. Me being a PC guy, I think those are on consoles nowadays, and probably have been for probably about a decade. But like originally, they were only PC games. Um, Resident
Yeah, I heard about
Evil.
the
Oh,
yeah
and
this guy was like mods. Yeah.
mhm. I'm a big modder. I mod a lot. Um, yeah, that's a really fun thing to do. I mean, I love playing mods, especially Grand Theft Auto. That's always been one of my favorite franchises as well. I started playing the first one on PS1 in the 90s. Never did I think it would grow to be as big as it is now. But that's really cool too because I mean they put a lot of work into those. Um,
So do you use a controller or keyboard?
um, both. Some games you can't play. Like when I play Mortal Kombat X or 11 or 9 or whichever one I'm playing, you have to use a controller. If I play a wrestling game, you have to use a controller. But if it's a shooter or something like that, like of course, mouse and keyboard. Like unless it has like the aim assist feature for like online games, then like you probably might be a little bit better because there's a bit of an advantage on a controller. But
Hmm.
I'm just so used to the dexterity of using the mouse and the keyboard. Like to me, I'm faster. It's kind of it's weird because I spent so long playing on PS2, PS3, and stuff like that on a controller, but I'm so used to the mouse and keyboard. Like I fell right back into it once I went exclusively PC because in the mid '90s, like that's what I gamed on anyway. I was a PC gamer, playing the older Doom and Duke Nukem and all that stuff, and you had to use mouse and keyboard. So I got used to that very early on. And then when I went back to it, it was like riding a bike. I just went right back to it.
Cool. Nippy's asking, do you still play older consoles that don't require Wi-Fi, Mark?
No, again, like if you have a capable PC, there's no point in playing the older console unless you're just being nostalgic.
Hmm.
I'm not going to play a game in lesser quality. To me, that matters. I would rather see an older game in the best quality possible versus playing it at like, I don't know, fucking 480p. That's ridiculous and stupid to me. If that's what you guys like to do, that's fine. But for me, I would never do that. I'm not going to play an older game in a lower quality. It's not going to happen, especially with all the shit that I have now anyway. That makes no sense. If I can crank up the frames all the way, I'm going to crank it all the way up. And I mean, I built this PC for a reason. Like it's got all the bells and whistles. It was a very expensive build. I've upgraded it since I first got it built 2 years ago. I recently upgraded it in, I think that was May or June or somewhere around there, a few months ago, and it was worth it. So I have a RTX 4090. I got an Extreme ATX, which is an extreme motherboard. I don't use regular motherboards. It does have the extra PCI Express slot for another card. I did stick with the i9 processor. I could have went to a different generation for that, but I didn't. I stayed on the one that I had. Yeah, I mean, I got everything I need. I don't. When you have something like that, it's no reason to go back.
What is the PSU that you have in that? I don't even know what that is.
The PSU? You mean CPU?
I don't know. He says, "What is the PSU you have in that?" I don't know what he meant. I thought he was saying something I'd never heard of before. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he meant CPU. I don't know.
Oh, the power supply?
I guess he said.
So I had like the one where it was like the fixed cables, but I think it's called analog power supply now. The one with all the different ports on it. Because if you have one that's fixed, like you can't fully power like certain graphics cards. Like the graphics card that I have, like it has like 4 yes, modular. That's what it is. Thank you, Jack Frost. A modular power supply. I switched over to that because it's just the way to go, man. Like you can't have those fixed cable power supplies. You're going to run into a situation where you probably need more power. And if you're talking about the watt, I'm pretty sure mine is 1,000 watt. I always go 1,000 watt. I never go below. So.
Yeah, I don't know any of that shit. So I do play on console. I'm just used to it. That's what I grew up with. And I mean, I have a laptop computer that's like 10 years old anyway. So I doubt the gaming would be that great. I'm not good with a keyboard unless it's barely typing. And then a lot's going to involve internet, and there's satellite internet. So might as well be snail mail internet. Might as well be back to the days of dial up. So it wouldn't matter to me anyway. So, but those who can and do, I commend them for it.
Yeah, it's easier than you think. I mean, like I said, I was a PC guy, but even back then I had Nintendo and N64, PS1. I had all that stuff, PS2. But I was never far away from my PC. And I got into building because of like my uncle, like that was like his thing. He taught me all that stuff. So I got deep into it. It's an expensive hobby though.
Hey, if it works, man. Yeah. Why not? Let's see. Hunk 100, nice setup. I'm planning on building a new PC with a new Intel 9 CPU, GTX 4070, tons of SSD. Hopefully, GPU will be cheaper than a year ago.
Yeah, the 4070 is it's somewhat cheap now, I would say. But then again, I don't know your limit. Don't listen to me. I'm nuts. Like I think 2000 is cheap. So don't listen to me. 'Cause I think my 4090 was like 2000, I think. And I still have a 3080 that's just sitting in a box. Like I don't even use it anymore. And when you do upgrade,
So,
make sure you get
yeah.
everything correct. Like don't so I made the mistake of starting up my PC when I didn't have all the cables in,
Mm-hmm.
and well, at least for the graphics card. So the graphics card started to pull power from the board and I smoked my motherboard. So don't do that.
Okay.
Make sure you have all your cables in and make sure you have a power supply that can run everything that you have. Yeah, just do your numbers and make sure everything's accounted for. Because I screwed my board up really bad, but it's okay because I got a better one now.
Very cool. So, few more. Mark, do you like the 1981 slasher film Hell Night, Linda Blair?
Yes, I do. I have it right there on the shelf. Fun movie. At first, I didn't like it, but this was a long, long time ago. Like there weren't even any Blu-rays at this point.
Mm.
Because I wanted like a lot of blood and I wanted a ton of effects and that there's a little bit of it in there in parts. It's very sparingly like sprinkled in, but I like it a lot more now. I watched it, I think, when Scream Factory put out the Blu-ray, and I loved it. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of that one.
Dippy, that's another green screen. That's not a real shelf.
It's all effects.
EM is asking, hey, Mark, do you mind crypto with your computer?
No.
They you don't say I plead the fifth. It was kind of hesitate. Like,
yeah, I don't do Bitcoin or any of that stuff. Although I have been told that I should, and I've thought about it, but I don't. To answer your question, no.
And am I the only one who thinks slasher movie The Prowler is boring? No, I thought it was boring as well. Good effects, that's it. Wasn't a fan of The Prowler. That's just me, though.
Yeah, the dialogue is painfully boring, and everything that's going on is boring for the most part. There's not really many entertaining like parts to it other than like the stalk and slash element. So for me, I would say I'm not really a big fan. I don't hate it, but I don't go out of my way to watch it either. Like if I want to see the effects and stuff, and I'll put it in, but that's probably it.
Yeah. And pretty much caught up with stuff. So we'll end it for tonight. 2.5 hours, been pretty fun. Thanks once again, Mark, for taking your time.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun.
Always a pleasure as always, man. So everyone out there, you guys have a good weekend. Don't know what's coming up in terms of streams and stuff. Don't know. I know Uncle Bill said he wants to do more shows. I don't know what that means. That's what he said.
I mean, I have some show ideas, but I don't know if like he's up for. I think the three of us need to like talk, like off stream, of course, and figure this out.
Yeah. But now that he's got his computer, that'll be easier. So. Yeah, Nippy, I hope you enjoy the review. Anyone who watches that review, it's me just blowing off steam. getting stuff out of my basement. Fuck Seth Rogen. And fuck that movie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Later.
Ciao for now.